Hello everyone, welcome to another makeup tutorial. Today I'm gonna be showing you application of this new ColourPop Bff Creme Gel Liner, which are waterproof 18 wear long liners. If I'm correct, I think they came in 6 shades. I picked up 3: Power Trip, Wild Idea and Pixie. These two I'm wearing today on my eyes, so I am wearing Wild Idea all over my lid and I am wearing Power Trip in my waterline. How this will stand the test of the time today, I'm quite not sure. I mean, I'm having this couple of hours already. So far so good. I will try to keep this look as much as I can to give you a full in-depth wear test when it comes to this. When it comes to application, this is a bit advanced makeup look. This is the look that I usually go for. This is the look that I absolutely enjoy. Actually, this was a recreation of one of my older videos where I use multichromes. In general, if you're new to this channel, I love using multichromes. But for what was new for me is I don't have that much experience when it comes to pencils. So I wanted to see how this multichrome will affect my complete makeup look being just in a pencil. What I can tell right away when I swatch them, they are so easy to apply, in a sense they feel like a butter. They are so creamy. So that was one thing that even for my waterline, I didn't have any issues. Just applying the pencil was the easiest thing ever. Plus it is supposed to be waterproof, so we'll see about that as well. I won't be able to wear this 18 hours, so I'm not sure about that, but I'll tell you everything else that I can. And if this is worth even like the price that it is, it's pretty decent price, but is this worth your money? Before we move on to this tutorial, I just wanted to say that this was like a journey of layering so many eyeshadows. I did want to go for this type of in-depth look, and especially when we talk about multichrome, this is just like a final touch when it comes to this complete look. But I understand these are the best to use like in general, just like a liner or draw some creative lines, but this is what I went for today. Plus it is a good test to see how this truly goes on top of the black base that I used today, and everything else. So without any further ado, let's see the swatches and then let's go to this in-depth step-by-step tutorial. These liners are cruelty-free, made in the USA. And so here they are: Pixie, Wild Idea, and Power Trip is the last one. I finally received my order from ColourPop Bff Creme Gel Liner. These are supposed to be waterproof 18-hour wear gel liners. So the first one that we have is called Pixie. Oh, I do love how they are actually super creamy. I was kind of worried. In a way, I was concerned because usually what I do prefer the most are loose pigments of the multichromes. And also I do love them as well in a pressed version, but they do tend to be like kind of a flaky sometimes. And this is how much I use my pencil. This one is the Power Trip shade. I don't quite know how much this one will last me. Either one of these, they are super creamy. Okay, let me show you all 3 swatches so you can see better. The shift is real. I think I picked the one that shifts the most, and I don't know, I do love the undertone. Okay, quickly, I just wanted to see in comparison with one of my favorite loose pigments. What's the difference? So here's how the loose pigment looks like compared to, just one swatch compared to these pencils. Let's quickly do a water test. So I will spray this with the water. Oh, and I can see by the way water acts that it might be waterproof. Totally waterproof. I don't know if it's smudge proof, but let's just check what happens when I remove the water. Wow. See? Oh, I can see a little bit now coming off. But you know what? The good test also will be in the waterline, how it will act throughout the day. Yeah, I can see here that it is a little bit, it came off. Everything else stayed pretty much, you know, the same. I do have a little bit of transfer here from this. Of course, these pencils you can use as a eyeliner. You can use them in your waterline or create specific lines, which are also loved. But today what I'm gonna do, oh, of course, you can spread them throughout the lid. Using black base, hopefully that will work. I will use this as my main highlight for today's look. You'll see what I mean. To start off today, I am using Pillows base in shade 02, and I'm going to already spread that base, but I will just use a smaller blender just to make sure everything is even and that I don't have any excessive product on my lid. I think this will work good for you, especially if you have oily eyelids, because the sponge will pick up so much product, you guys, that is unnecessary for you and probably will reduce the creasing. First, I'm gonna start with Be Perfect palette with collaboration with Makeup by Lena. We'll mix shades Legend and Prophecy. I took the excess off and I'm going just in the middle of my crease. Yeah, I wanted this specific shade, so, and these are really pigmented. I applied generous amount. You can see how my edges are really harsh, and now I'm going around the edges and you can see how much pigment do I have. So I'm going to blend everything, spread everything, spread the shade even towards my kind of nose area underneath my eyebrow. You can see how it gets lighter in opacity. So I'm using a smaller blending brush. And now with a clean, bigger blending brush, going once again around the edges, trying to spread this color as much as I possibly can. This is not like the deepest color that we're going to use today. I know it looks a little bit kind of crazy at the moment, but once I blend all other colors, it's gonna look really interesting. Take your time to blend everything. If necessary, go once again, because you can clearly see that here we have deeper opacity. And I really want this to be deeper in opacity. So once I apply the color, I'm using smaller blending brush, applying it once again. I will come back to this green once again later. First I'm gonna complement this color with the gorgeous, when I thought about kind of yellow/green orange undertone, I thought instantly about Yucca palette, and shade Fuchsia will be the one that I'm going to use right now. Take the excess off, and I did use a smaller version of the blending brush. So basically what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna apply this shade all around this one, blend it into the green one, but just on the upper part. I'm not touching this. I don't even care if it's creasing a little bit or what's going on. It doesn't matter. So when I want to start, let's just say here, this one as well, really pigmented, you'll see. So I'm just going to slightly tap around the edges, and I also will now see where the green one kind of diffuses. Now it's the time to whatever's left on your brush to go gently around the shape that you already created. That way now we're gonna have custom shade. This is not the perfect lightest shade right here that I wanted, but we are going to get to that later as well. See, now you can see that I do have a lot of the product here and we need to blend it. For that, I'm rather gonna use bigger blending brush, starting from the edge, not from here. If you start from here, you're gonna have different result, meaning it's not going to blend seamlessly. So I'm going to diffuse with a small circular motions this shade into my skin like so. And also if you're doing, whenever you're doing eye makeup, make sure that you also spread your base so that your eyeshadow doesn't go directly on your skin, but rather on the base. Like, you have to spread everything equally. And see now how it started to blend together with the skin, also with a green shade. Like I mentioned, I will apply more of that shade as well. For this area right here, I can use, again, bigger blending brush, because the smaller one, this is pigmented, and the smaller one brush can pick up too much of a product. make your job kind of harder to blend everything. And now, as you can see, I am blending this shade. I wanted to mention that what I've done, I just with the tip of my brush took the product. I didn't swirl too much, just with the tip of my brush a couple of times, take the excess off, and then go. Basically gonna do the same again. It is so important the way you take certain eyeshadows depending on the result that you want. Like you saw when I layer down this shade right here, deeper shade, I went totally different than when I'm going with a lighter one, trying to blend the lighter one into the deepest one. Also, the difference is depending if you are starting with a darker shade first or with a lighter shade into the darker, you know? Like your blending is gonna look differently the way you're going to blend color into the color. We're starting to get somewhere when it comes to this shade, like even this depth and everything, like I think it looks pretty good for now. And before I move to the next blue color that I'm going to use, I am going to repeat the first shade right here. Actually, the mixture of the Prophecy and the Legend shade, like so. Okay, now it is time to add different color. I'm gonna go in with another Natasha's palette. I'm going to use shade Stratus from her mini Multichrome. I love this palette. I'm using a smaller brush. The shade is pretty much deep. Starting from the lower, here is really important for you to know that these greens and everything that we already have they have to peek through. So I don't want to cover everything with this with this blue, but rather make sure that some of the green color peek through. For the blending, I am using smaller blending brush and going really slow. This is gonna take some time. This one is a bit harder to work with. Not necessarily because of the formulation. We are talking about blue eyeshadow that you need to take your time when it comes to blending it. Once again, repeating the process. I will have to go a couple of times. Like I said, I would rather go one step at a time. And now everything is starting to diffuse into this green. For the edge, this is like really deep, intense color. I'm using blending brush. But just for the edge, if I do this right here with a big brush, I think disrupt everything. So rather, if I want to blend something, see how the smaller brush helps you do whatever you want. Okay, now it is moment of truth. I'm gonna be using Inglot's Duraline together with the Inglot's Gel Eyeliner number 77, my favorite. Mix those together, apply it with the flat brush, and well, the thing here is you have to be really quick. If you are a beginner, I would rather suggest something like Vanessa Meyrick's Groundwork palette, and you don't even need to apply Duraline in that case. Fingers crossed this pencil will act good on top of the black base. If you are wondering why do I apply black base, sorry, I have to talk and not look up. So if you are wondering, multichromes reflect the best on top of the black base. Their pigment, reflection, everything gets to its 100%. It's insane. Okay, now once I've done this, I'm taking a pointy brush, smaller brush. Of course, you have to use smaller brushes for this. And just kind of, well, you don't need to blend them, but just avoid those really harsh lines. Listen, don't worry if it's not too perfect around the edges. If you have good multichrome, it will cover everything either way. It will blend nicely, so it shouldn't be an issue. But when I think about it, I don't have that much practice with the pencil multichrome, so I'm really intrigued to see what's going to happen. So basically cover everything that wasn't covered, like your whole lid, everything from beginning to the end, and also just drag a little bit color towards the, well, that deep blue shade that we have. Do not cover more than this. because we're going to use the Multichrome even higher than this black base either way. Almost took the wrong pencil. Maybe this was a wild idea to create something like this today. I am going in Multichrome. Such a gorgeous shade. I love the reflection as well. Beautiful. When you are using it, I'm guessing you have two ways of using it. You can probably crush it like mixing plate, but I'm going directly because when I swatched on my hand, I thought they're super creamy, so that is really good. Where do I want to start, you guys? I'm gonna start from the center and from the middle. Okay. Well, I made sure this is dry now. Let's see, maybe I will have to go a couple of times. Maybe this is just going to be like, I don't know, layer 1. And I will try to use this one with the brush as well on the other eye. Well, I should demonstrate that actually for you. So this eye, I just apply directly from the pencil. Oh, now second time when I go with it, it's different. Okay, so if you're using this on top of the black base, even for example, you can use your liner and just go on top of it with this liner. So do one swipe and then clean pencil just in case, and then go again. So like I mentioned, this side will be directly with the pencil, the other one with the brush. I still need to make a transition here so that is not harsh. Let me see what's going to happen once I push this pencil a bit kind of harder. I don't know, on top of the black base, it looks like it does have more, like kind of a glitters, and it's not even. Can you see the shifting? I think I can. It's a bit harder for me to see now. Shift just like this. Now what I'm going to do to emphasize the edge and to of course have liner, because this is not where I'm going to stop when it comes to edge around my eye. I'm applying. I want the edges around my eye to be like closed with the dark liner, and also will make your eyes emphasize even more. So this edge will be a little bit darker right here. For the lower lash line, I am using Pillowy's base. I am going back right here with a Prophecy and Legend mixture. I will connect that to everything that I already have. I'm also going to take Bullet brush to blend. What I do need now is that lighter shade from the Yucca palette. Shade Fushi. Smudging that one as well around the edges. Going towards, like, this is blending color towards my skin. I will also use back this color from the mini Triochrome that I have already used, but just here a little bit on the edges. Now I need MAC Black color, and I'm gonna be using Black is Black from Natasha Denona with a really small brush. I will focus this eyeshadow on the edges. Just take your time. And you know what? Eyeshadow on top of this Multichrome pencil, it looks really nice. Like, I do love the transition right here. It takes additional time, but I love it. It kind of blends together beautifully. So nice. Okay, let's try different applications. So right here, what I'm gonna do, I'm going to kind of like crush a pencil like this. I will try to pick it up with a synthetic flat brush. Oops. Let me see what's going to happen. It's definitely easier to do this on a kind of a plate than mix it on my hand. I think I kind of lost a lot of the products, and I don't know how much I'm gonna get used out of it. Maybe, I don't know, maybe to layer like this as a base, but then definitely wanna use the pencil, you guys. Yeah, it's kind of a more diffused, where here is much more kind of a saturated. So if you want a diffused look, definitely use the brush. But that is not what I am going for today, so... Oh yeah, you can see this. Woo. Yeah, the pencil directly, which is good, go through the smooth and pigmented. To make most of it, hold your lid and just press it equally. Next I'm going to use second shade, which is Power Trip, and I will use this one directly into my lower waterline. This is really creamy. I don't think those glitters or sparkles should bothering me in my eye. I will let you know how it feels, and of course throughout the day. So creamy. Just touch it and here it is. Okay, that was super easy. Now I have to finish the inner corner. Time to finish off the lower lash line. I'm using Tom Ford Lumiere Dive. I'm going to use the light matte shade in my inner corner. I will diffuse this, don't worry. Then I wanted to incorporate from Starstruck Splendor Dawn Divinity shade. I really like this shade, you guys. I am going to mix this one together with everything that I have. And now this one will also mix with this lighter shade. And just a little bit on top of this pale amethyst will go good with that previous shade that I've used. Nothing too crazy, just a little bit. I don't know, could have even keep this on the matte side. Okay, I'm gonna use some lashes and mascara and I'll be right back. Okay, here is the final look. I did apply the mixture of two mascaras from Pat McGrath, Dark Star mascaras. Also applied lashes, Ardell Naked lashes. One of them are in style 421, just the end, and these I don't know what the number was because I lost the outside packaging. I will check in later to see if this stays in my waterline. How is this acting on my lid? I mean, it's been already a lot of the time that it has been staying because it takes me a while to film everything, so it takes a lot more time than just if I'm doing my makeup regularly, you know. So yeah, anyways, I will check in later and let you know. It is many hours later. In the meantime, I haven't peeled the onions. It's not being too hot here, so in that way I can't have like the humidity test, but everything else, here it is. As I can tell, nothing here creased, so everything is okay. Even the liner, it stayed in my waterline, so it kind of cracked just a little bit, but overall, considering everything, I think it's okay. One last thing I wanted to check was the water test, so let's do that. Let me just spray with just a regular water. So I do want to spray water all over my eye as I'm crying. Let me just press the tissue. There's no glitters or anything like that, just a tiny bit of a kind of a green coming out. I did not do waterproof face routine, so I'm guessing I'm gonna have a little bit of foundation. Let me just check once again, dry everything. This is all that came out, so considering that, it's not that bad. I'm not sure if my mascara is waterproof. Is that it? I think that's the mascara. So this is how it looks like after I spray it just with the clear water. Like, I don't see any difference in patching or anything. That's pretty cool, so loving that. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please let me know in the comment section down below your thoughts. Do you in general use multichromes? My recent video that I posted the easiest way to apply shimmers and multichromes, but in a pressed way. And some of you asked for the loose glitters, multichromes, or whatever it is in a loose pigment. The application and the process is different. And at the end of the day, this is again something totally different. But what I feel like some of you would love when it comes to this is how the application is actually really easy. When I have to cover my whole lid, this is not the most practical way. It takes time. But for everything else that you would probably enjoy, this is going to be really good. I'm hoping to create more looks with this, tested. This is the one that I haven't like fully tested. And this one I think shifts even the most out of the three that I've picked. So let me know if you have any other of these shades and if you tried any of these and how did you like it. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today, and I will see you in my next video. Thank you for watching. Bye.